Diversity as enrichment, not obligation. I have grown tired of hearing the word diversity thrown around as if it were a magic formula. In Hollywood, especially, it has become a shallow ritual. The same medieval kingdoms, the same European courts, the same Roman arenas, only now with a scattering of darker faces. We are asked to applaud this as progress. Yes, yet it feels hollow. This is not diversity. It is only the appearance of diversity, a performance so thin that it insults the very idea it claims to honor. The mistake, I think, lies in treating diversity as an end in itself. Politicians, studios, cultural institutions repeat the mantra, we must have diversity. But diversity has never been the goal. Quality is the goal. Enrichment is the goal. Diversity is only one of the means by which we can reach it. When it becomes a duty, it loses its value. Worse, it begins to look forced, artificial, and something to resent rather than to celebrate. If I look at the great chapters of human history, one pattern is impossible to miss. The most transformative achievements came not from isolation, but from exchange. Paper, invented in China, became the foundation of European learning. Gunpowder, carried westward, reshaped the politics and warfare of entire continents. Spices altered not only cuisine, but the very roots of global trade, and algebra and astronomy, preserved and expanded in the Islamic world, opened the way for modern science. Human progress has always been a child of borrowing. Cultural cultures thrived not by locking their gates, but by opening them. To me, this is what real diversity means, not the arithmetic of skin tones on a stage, but the circulation of knowledge, ideas, and stories across boundaries. This is why I reject the idea that all cultures must be treated as equal in strength or achievement. Sometimes one blooms brighter than another. That is not a problem. What matters is not strict balance, but freedom of access. Paper may have been born in China, but it belongs to all of us now. Algebra may have been refined in Baghdad, but it enriches children everywhere who learn mathematics. Culture, once created, becomes common ground. True diversity, then, is not about ticking boxes. It is about freedom of choice, the freedom to draw from any well of human creativity, no matter where it springs. And this is why I find Hollywood's approach so disappointing. Rather than opening new doors, it paints the same old doors in a new color. A knight remains a knight. A Roman remains a Roman. The surface changes, but the imagination stays locked in the same narrow corridor. What would true diversity in film look like? It would mean telling stories we have barely touched. For example, the saga of Mansa Musa's pilgrimage, a journey of wealth and wonder across the Sahara, or the brilliance of Baghdad's House of Wisdom, where civilizations pooled their genius. The vast expeditions of Zheng He, for example, whose fleet mapped oceans far before Europeans ever dared, or the fierce rule of Queen Nzinga, who faced empires without bending. These are not minority tales, they are human tales, and they are thrilling. To ignore them is not only unjust, it is a creative tragedy. When I speak of diversity, I do not mean obligation. I mean opportunity. I mean the simple recognition that the inheritance of humanity is far richer than what one canon, Western or otherwise, can contain. Diversity is not about proving that everyone belongs. It is about showing that everyone belongs to everyone, that everything belongs to everyone. That stories, inventions, and cultures can be borrowed, reshaped, and made our own. The goal is not diversity in itself. The goal is enrichment, and diversity is one of the surest way to achieve it. This is why I refuse to accept Hollywood's lazy gestures as progress. They flatten diversity into a checkbox, when in truth it is a boundless well of possibility, and they deprive us, the audience, of the joy of discovery. For me, diversity is not obligation, it is freedom, and freedom is the soil from which quality grows.